Hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 5 of Just Ask Jen. Thank you so much. If you are tuning in live, let me know that you're here. Drop in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you are tuning in from the future, drop a comment. Let us know where you're from when you're tuning in and watching. Thank you so much. So, my name is Jennifer Hall, and I'm an EdTech specialist here in Atlanta. And I've started doing these monthly go live and just answer questions that have been submitted by teachers. If you have a question live, just put hashtag ask in the chat. Let me know that you have a question, and I will do my best to answer it. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm kind of excited about a couple of fun things that I wanted to share. And so if you have a question, just hashtag ask in the chat. Lets me know that you have a question. Let me know where you're tuning in from so I know you're here. So one of my popular questions that people ask me a lot is, what is your new favorite app? I often get asked that. So what is your favorite thing that you're using right now, Jen? What are you wanting to play with? What do I need to know about? And I've got a couple of favorite apps, but there's one that I've been using lately that I wanted to share about, and that is actually the Canva mobile app. So do I have any Canva users tuning in? Let me know if you're a Canva user and if you've used the mobile app, because it is my new favorite thing for social media posts. So let me show you a couple of things that I love about it. So this is actually canva.com. You can log in and get a free account. And if you're an educator, you can upgrade and get a educator account, which gives you access to a bunch of cool options and features. But the mobile app is really, really powerful. And I've been using it a lot for my social posts because if you know me, I post. There's my friend Shelly. Good to see you, Shelly. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, Shelly, I'm curious if you're using Canva or if you've ever used the Canva mobile app. For those of you that know me, I have a kind of an obsession with t-shirts, and I do a different t-shirt every single day. It became a conversation on the last episode because I met virtually, I met my twin that is also a fan of wearing the t-shirts every day. So anyway, I always try and make the social post kind of interesting, showing what the shirt is, and maybe add in a Genmoji, just try to dress it up, make it interesting. So, but lately I've been doing these posts and using the Canva mobile app to create my posts. And what's cool is you can make little animated videos and do cool things like this. So this is actually from today. I did my final Den Ambassador session. If you're familiar with the Den Ambassadors program, it's program that teaches you all about, it's a deep dive into discovery education resources, and I facilitate it for my district. And I just wrapped up my final session. It's a 3-part PD, and this was my final session for the spring, and this was my 12th cohort. I've been doing this for the last 6 years, so of course I wore a Den shirt, and so this is the Den Summer Institute shirt from see, now Shelly says you did not know that there was a mobile app. You're downloading it right now, my friend. I know you are. So for those of us that got to go to Wilmington for the Den Summer Institute, this is one of my favorite shirts, but I was able to do this all in the mobile app. I was able to add the video in the back. I take pictures of my shirt so I can use the logos off of it. And then I was able to take a selfie in front of a wall. I didn't have to have a green screen, and use their background removal and then add it in the front. So I was going to show you how to make this. Does that sound good? Does that sound like a pretty cool plan to show you how I did this? Like yesterday was National Scrabble Day, and this is the one I did for National Scrabble Day. I mean, you can't spell awesome without me. But I actually found in Canva under the educator account, they had a video loop that had Scrabble in it. I was like, that's amazing. I loved it. So I'm going to show you real quick how I created this, and I just think it's a lot of fun. So we're going to do this. It's always fun when we try and do things live like this. So we're going to see how fun this is sharing this. So I'm actually going to use the power of Zoom to do a little screen share here. And if you didn't know you could do that, you can share your iPhone or your iPad. And so I'm going to actually do that really quick. All right. And magic is happening. It's showing all sorts of fun things. I'm going to bring this over here. You're seeing all the behind the scenes things that we're talking about here. Minimize that. Minimize that. And notice I can share my screen and do this pretty easily. So let me get it all situated before we pull this up, and you're going to be in, and I'm going to dazzle you with how well this works. All right, so there's the Canva app. So you download the Canva app, and you have the option of, so there we go, using the miracle of screen share with Zoom. That's how we're making this magic happen here. There we go. So this is the one that I did today, and what's cool is once you download the app, you can actually make all sorts of different things. And so I'm actually going to start from scratch and show you how this works. So these are the last couple of days. So I keep adding it to it so I can start with it. But in the mobile app, this is where the magic is. So I'm opening this up, and I've got this one background. I want to search for a video. So I'm going to replace my background, and I'm going to search for videos. So I searched for water, but if maybe I put in ocean, find a couple of options here. I can scroll through and I can use any of these videos as a small video, as the background, or anything that I want. And so look at this. This is beautiful. I wish I was out at the ocean right now. So I'm going to add that in. And when I hit play, you'll see that that's a video loop that's going to be behind my image. Okay. Then next up, I need to go into my camera roll, and I'm going to grab, that was my host back here, Simi. She decided she'd join me. So here's the selfie I took today, and I've added it. And you're like, but Jen, how did you remove the background? What do you do? What's the magic here? So if I select it, I can go down here to effects and do background remover, and automatically it's going to take the background out. Now, the background remover is also available in the Canva desktop app. But I'm using this for my social posts, and so this is a lot of fun. So there we go. I've got my picture, and I can move it around. I can resize it. And then I was able to add in other elements as well. You can also add in text and other elements. And this is all inside, so I can add in a heading. There we go. We're going to change this to say Den. So I can use the power of the text, and it's giving me I can line it up. I can change my colors. Let's go up here and change. There's my, if I want to change that color to be the blue. So as you can see, it's super slick and super easy to use. And this is all on the mobile device. So now if I go to play this, you can see that I've got the moving water behind me. I've added in text. So it's a great way to make some interesting, engaging posts, or that you can add to your presentations. Or for me, I'm using it for social media. Super easy, and it's that remove background thing that is a game changer. But I can go in and I can replace this. I can right now it's a 30-second thing. If I only wanted to show like the part where the ocean's coming in, I can change it. So just show that first few parts to it. And then once I've got this made and it's looks the way I want it, I'm just going to choose to export it. And I've got a bunch of different options. So actually from my mobile device, I can actually push this to Google Classroom. So if you made just that kind of a fun, entertaining intro to something you're doing in your class, I can push this out very easily to Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. But I'm going to say download this as a video. Now, I've been adding mine to keep it in one file, but I only want page 1 because that's the one that I just made. So I could say I want to select that. I can choose what I want it to be, an MP4. You can also do a GIF, but what I've learned is that you on Twitter, you can't just upload a GIF from your local camera roll. You can pull in GIFs from Giphy, or built into Twitter, but it doesn't let me upload a GIF. So I'm going to keep it as an MP4. There's no music in it. That's fine. And I'm just going to select download. Magic is happening. Things are happening. And now I can use this in my social posts, whether it's to Twitter, to Instagram, or wherever you want to share it, or you can use it to create just some interesting things for your students. So just like that, there's my t-shirt one, and I can now just quickly share it out via Twitter, and out it goes, which is super cool and easy to do that. So what do you think? I'm just curious. What do we think of the mobile app? It is super user-friendly. It's, again, my new favorite thing because I'm using it all the time. The mobile app has just tons of features, but the game changer for me is the remove background feature for photos. Before, I was doing a bunch of different things. I would take a selfie and then I would upload it to remove.bg, which is a great website, but that means that was an extra step. And so I think the ability to be able to do that all in one app is really cool. So let me know in the comments if you are excited about that, you're already downloading the Canva mobile app and are ready to try that. And if you do use it to create a social post, tweet it out and let me know, tag me, I'd love to see it. So again, you want to make sure if you're an educator, upgrade to that Canva education account so that you have the ability to push out assignments and add students to a classroom situation, and you have access to all the resources. Stacy says you love it. That's pretty cool. So now here's the thing. I've given you the secret sauce of how I'm doing my social posts now. So people are going to be like, Jen, you're doing too much. But I do enjoy it. I also have used PhotoGrid is a really cool app. I love using Doink when I want to use green screen stuff. But now that remove background option is there, that's just super, super cool. So Stacy, glad you like it. I can't wait to see what you create. So moving on, let's talk about some other things here. I had a good question. I thought that this was a good one to answer here, which is what free programs would you recommend for editing videos like the ones you do for your YouTube channel? Which, first of all, I appreciate people that are checking out things on the YouTube channel. If you're tuning in on the YouTube channel, thanks so much. If you're here via Facebook, appreciate you. But now free is the tricky one. So free is always the challenge because you want to have a robust option. Believe it or not, I will point out that Canva allows you to create videos. Now, if you're going to record and edit a bunch of stuff, you're not going to want to do a lot of heavy editing, but you can actually create a video in Canva and add in their elements to make things interesting, to make things pop. It just depends on what type of video you're creating. So I would point out that is one tool that you might want to consider for creating videos. So if we hop in here to the video option, I can pull in video resources they have, but I can also upload my own content, and I can add in elements to, engage the viewers, things like that. So as you can see, I can choose what type of video I'm trying to create. Like here's an explainer video. They have a template for it. And I'm just going to pick this one right here because it's making food. The secret of a good noodle bowl. I haven't had dinner yet, so this it's a pretty good option here. So I can see here that there's my video, and I can go in here and I can change out any of the elements on it, and I can also upload my own video. That's one tool you can use. It's very, very simple, easy to use option because I can then go in and I can add in photos, and each page I add is like adding a frame for your video. I can add in text that way. I can add in elements. So I can really kind of jazz up what I'm trying to say. Now, the tricky thing is that if you want to go in and do some high level, like zooming in on different content in your video, I don't think that this is going to be your best option, but it is one option. And if you've got a free account, you're good. Or if you upgraded the educator account, that's an option. The next tool that I like, that I've started using a lot lately is RecordCast. And RecordCast is a free screen recording tool that has a really robust editor. And I've got a whole tutorial on RecordCast on my channel where I dive into how you can use it. But what's cool is here, if we go to try the editor, you can upload your own content. And being able to upload your own content makes this a game changer. So we're going to let it load here. Now, a couple of things you need to know about RecordCast. RecordCast is free. It's in beta, so that means they're updating and adding things to it. So you might log in and there might be some updates the next time you're in. You can have 8 projects simultaneously saved. You don't save your video in their cloud sources. They save all your video locally. So if I were to record anything real quick, so I'm going to record my screen for just a second. We'll just record that real quick. And it's recording. I'm going to record, and you can record up to 10 minutes. You can add more video to it, so you can do it in segments. So I've got, a couple of seconds here. You'll see there it is, and I want to say, yeah, this is good, so I'm going to use it. It's going to save it locally to my computer. It doesn't save it in the cloud. It lives on your computer, so you don't delete those files off of your computer. You want to have access to it, so maybe create a folder and organize it there. But notice if I want to use it, I can just drag it down here. I'm going to put it on my timeline here. course, it's going to be moody because people are watching. So notice I've added this here, and it's reminding me I want to save my project. So I'm going to give it a title. So this is my little live demo. All right. And it's going to auto save. It's living in the cloud that way, and it's pulling your files from your local device. I can go in here and I can add in text, and it has these interactive texts that I want to add in here. So I can add it on the frame, or I can do a blank screen so you can make credits, and you can customize each of these options. Any of these effects that you want to add, you literally just add it, drag it and drop it and add it to here. I can adjust the length of things. So this reminds me a little bit of iMovie with some of the elements that you can add to it. But I can go in here, I can change my text, I can change the colors, and this is what's cool is I can use their color palette that they provided, but I can also do what they call document colors, and I can custom color this. So if you want it to be school color specific or project specific, I can go in and add that. I can change. I've got a couple options on fonts. So again, a little bit more robust than just, a basic window movie maker. I can change backgrounds, so I can choose any of these. And then this is where you can level up, and it makes it really interesting. We used RecordCast recently for a project. For 8th grade teachers were doing a project about the college that they attended as part of College and Career Readiness Week. And they made a video about their college, and they wanted to add in like engaging elements, so that we added in arrows. And any of these elements can actually be added and customized, which again is a cool thing. So if I wanted to drop this arrow on here, we're going to let it think for a second. And I'm going to move this back this way a little bit here. All right, bring my little arrow over, and I can actually notice it automatically recognize I wanted to have multiple stacking layers. So again, this is free, and I can do multiple layers. I can even do multiple audio layers. We were playing around, and we were able to put in audio track, a music track. It was really cool to do a voiceover. So there's my little arrow. Oh, it's black. Maybe I would prefer that if it was a different color. So I'm going to go with some blue. I can adjust the size of it. So if you're trying to point out things for students as an instructional tool, or you're just trying to make YouTube tutorials, this is a great way. So I can actually point out things, and I can add in different elements. Like if it's got multiple colors, I can change out both of the colors on those elements, and it just jazzes it up. I can also add in overlays on top of the text. Now, all of that is in RecordCast, and when you're ready to export your project, you just export it. I'm not logged into my account right now. It will prompt me to do that, and then it will allow me to export it, and you can pick whether you want it to do 460, 720, or 1080p video, and it turns out really well. I've done a couple of tutorials. In fact, my tutorial on RecordCast, the two of them that I did, I recorded them in RecordCast so you can see what it looks like. So how many of you have used RecordCast? Let me know in the chat. Drop in the comments if you have used RecordCast before, or now you're excited. This is one that you're going to try and use coming up. So we're talking about free programs for editing videos. I'm using it for my YouTube channel. That was a particular question. There's a couple other options that I wanted to mention. The one that I'm trying to learn, and I have not mastered it yet, is Davinci Resolve. So Davinci Resolve is a professional, when I say professional, like professional video editor that has so many features in it, it's a little overwhelming. There's tons of tutorials out there. It is a download, and it is a little bit of a resource hog, so you need to have a pretty strong computer to be able to handle it. But I think it's a really cool option if you want to have they refer to it like the Premiere Pro. If you're familiar with Adobe Premiere Pro is industry standard, one of the great ones. This is an industry standard option that's free. So if you are interested in doing some heavy level editing and you want to have a lot of flexibility with green screen capability, layering tracks, doing some tracking, doing some keyframing, and if you don't know what those terms mean, then that means that this is the advanced one. You're going to have to. It's definitely a more challenging entry point for you if you're interested in video editing. Now, there was one other. I was doing some research, and there's so many video editors. Like I use Camtasia and iMovie. I use iMovie if I'm using my Mac to do a lot of my stuff. So that's free if you have an iPad or a MacBook. But I also pay for Camtasia because it's what I use for to do a lot of my videos. And I am planning on diving a little bit deeper into using Adobe Premiere. But when I was doing my research, another one that came up a lot for free was Lightworks. And so I have my homework. I'm going to explore Lightworks. But when I was looking and that question was submitted about free, this one actually had the highest ratings for a free option, but it has a lot of stuff. Green screening, keying, multi-track, multi-camera, all of that. So if you want to do some really advanced stuff, that is Lightworks. So I definitely wanted to mention that if you wanted to get some really advanced options there. So along the lines of talking about editing and cameras and all that kind of fun stuff, I often get asked a lot, Jen, how did you do all that cool stuff that's on your camera, and how do you have that little frame? I call this my Rachel Maddow inspired like news, over on the side. I even have one that's got like the Atlanta skyline in the background if I want to use my green screen. And of course I've got Genmoji up there. But people are like, how did you do that? Or how did you get that really cool, rainbow blue effect around your camera in, like, here I am, I'm using StreamYard to go to YouTube. Or it shows up when I use Zoom or Google Meet or Microsoft Teams. And I get a lot of questions like, how did you do that? And the answer is actually, it's a virtual camera. So a lot of people are like, well, what is a virtual camera? It's the ability to set up a scene and control your camera or multiple cameras and then send that signal to another application like Zoom, Meet, Teams, or in this case in StreamYard. And so I just, like I said, I did my PD with my my Den ambassadors in it, and while we were in there, I was playing around and showing them some stuff, and they were like, "How are you doing all that?" And what's cool about doing a virtual camera is I can do fun stuff like this. Like, and I can go ahead and have it already set up to show different looks with the touch of a button. I'm using another little app, and I can throw things up on the screen really easily. Or I can cut to other camera angles like this. And I'm using Open Broadcaster software, which is OBS, which is a free tool. It's a free app you can download that lets you set up cool scenes. And you can do this for your classroom. It is a download, but it's free. So the price is right. It's my free favorite thing. And you can set up scenes and have it ready that you can just click on it so that it goes to that particular scene or setup when you're in your classroom. And it just is a fun way to kind of engage students. So I can actually do fun stuff like this. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm right here. But, and I can flash to different things I've set up, and it's all using Open Broadcaster. So I want to show you a little bit about that, and then I'll show you a little bit behind the scenes. This is a lot of behind the scenes of all the fun stuff that I do. So Open Broadcast Project is where you can find this, and it's just a really cool tool that lets you do fun stuff. And so I'm going to show you all. Let's see. Let's hop over here and take a look at. So it's free. You can download it, and it has it for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So if anyone that's wanting to do like a free green screen software, this is a great option. So if you have a studio in your school and you want to be able to do some cool stuff, using green screen, OBS is a great solution. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but if you streamline what you want you and your students to do, it's a great option. So I'm going to show you what OBS looks like behind the scenes. So again, you're seeing behind the scenes, all the fun stuff. So there, I'm going to throw it over there. This is OBS. So now it's a little weird. I'm actually going to just cut over here to screen only so you don't see me multiple times. But this is OBS, and what it does is it lets you create all of these scenes. I have all of these neat scenes that if I click on it, I've set it up exactly the way I want it to look, and I can do all sorts of cool things like make my end credits. I can do different cameras. I can actually, let's see here, go to different other little, see how I've got different logos and different places. You can set up these different scenes for the way you want it to look, and you can jazz up your videos because you can record from this. It's not an editor, but it's a great way to do a lot of pre-work and set up what you're working on. So if I wanted to cut over here, and now you see that I hit the button, and then now I'm looking at that camera because that's the way I set it up inside of OBS. So you can set up different scenes. I've got a little bit of a tutorial on my channel, but I just think it's a lot of fun to be able to do kind of fun things. Like I set it up so that I have fun stuff like my thinking camera. So if you were doing an activity with your students and you wanted to have, you have different cameras set up. So I've got my main webcam in front of me, but I've also got a document camera over here that I've set it up, and I put a black and white filter on it. So I call it my thinking cam, so that you can turn and be like, so let's think right now. And it just kind of makes it a little more interesting, because Zoom, if you're using Zoom, you can add in two cameras very easily, or you can use OBS to do this cool switch. So it's just kind of a fun way to make, you know, your virtual lessons kind of interesting. I'm just curious, has anyone used OBS before, or, you know, are kind of curious now to check it out? It's just a lot of fun to be able to add in those different logos and different things, and add in different elements. And you can do fun stuff like if I want to make sure that I'm like, oh, close up shot. Hold on. Wait for it. I've got different ones. I've got different ones set up here with different. Oh, there we go. I see my co-host is back there still. Semi's still hanging out in the back, for those of you that could see the cat hanging out. When you're a fur parent, that's what happens. So that is OBS, and I wanted to share that just because it's just a cool way. If you have questions about OBS and you want to know more about it, let me know. Drop, comment in the chat. Let me know. Stacy says you're gonna. I gotta try it now. It's just super fun. Now, if you're in a school district where you have to have admin rights to download and install software, you will obviously need to put in a ticket for that to have it installed. Like in our district, you can't just download your own software. But I mean, being what it's for video recording, it's for this virtual camera option. But here's where the magic is, and I did want to point this out, is that once you set up all your scenes, they've updated it. Before you had to do all this fancy hacking stuff to make it work and add in these plugins. But now all I have to do is hit this start virtual camera. And when you do that, inside of whether it's Zoom or Meet or whatever, it's going to show up. So if I pull up my Zoom, I'm going to bring my little Zoom window back over here. Down here in Zoom, if I was... You said you've got the passwords? Uh-oh, what passwords? Did I give away passwords? I don't think I gave away... Now I'm nervous. Did I give away... Stacy, did I give away passwords? So down here, when I click on Start Video, I'm going to pick which one I want to use, and you would select the OBS virtual camera, and then it will work. There we go. Now I'm thinking, what passwords? Oh my goodness, it's been a long day. All right, so a couple other things I wanted to point out is that I am a big fan of Jamboard, and Jamboard has added the new feature of revision history, and some people might have known that that was released and others might not. What's cool is that anyone that's using Jamboard before, people would get frustrated because students would delete things and move things and change things, and you didn't want them to do that. And so therefore they wouldn't want to use it because they were worried about that. But if you click now on these three dots, go to more, and you can see version history. So you can see that actually this was created on the 2nd. And that was the most recent change, was made on the 2nd, and I've just opened it up, and now I was going to use this Jamboard. So the revision history is a game changer for people. I'm curious how many people are using Jamboard and are excited about the fact that Jamboard is now available. So the other thing I wanted to point out that I just got, and I do love a good gadget. I just got a new gadget. This is the Wacom tablet, and I'm curious if anyone has used the Wacom tablet, or Wacom. I want to say it's Wacom. It is a tablet that allows you have a tablet, you plug it in USB, and then you have a stylus, and this will allow you to write like you're using a mouse, and now you have the ability to write on documents digitally. So in this case, I'm going to go to slide number 2, and please excuse my handwriting because I'm still learning. I just got it before spring break last week, and then I haven't played with it really much, but I can go in here and choose a color of a pen. I can put my pen where I want it to be, and now I can actually, as you can see, I'm writing. I'm terrible with my writing. Let's clear that. All right, let's go one more. page over. And it's better if you have it. I had it. I need to make sure that I have it facing the right direction. And then I'm going to orient myself and just, I can write. And I'm working on writing with it. But it's a really cool option for being able to write. Thank you, Stacy. I was sitting here thinking, did I show some passwords? You have the power. Good, gotcha. Got the passwords. All right. I was thinking I shared on my screen something. I was like, did I show passwords? That's awesome. Yeah, if you've got the power, install it. Definitely check it out. So what do we think? The Wacom tablet's kind of a cool new option in terms of being able to write and annotate on things. I know my math teachers like it. I've recommended before this mouse pen that lets you write as well. But the tablet gives you a surface that you're writing on it. It actually has the feedback of writing on a tablet with some touch buttons and stuff. And it price wise, it's like $60. It wasn't too crazy expensive. And this is actually what they call the Wacom One, which is the student tablet. So it's not too big, and it's actually will work on Mac, Windows, and is Chromebook. It will function on a Chromebook. So that means it's a great option for your students if they need to have that writing or drawing ability. So I'm trying to get into doing some drawing using our stuff. So I think this was great. Stacey says, all of our math teachers use the tablets. They love them. That's awesome. I saw someone share it out, and anytime there's an opportunity for me to get a gadget, I'm in. Who doesn't love a good gadget? All right. So a couple other things I wanted to share out that were on the list here. So that was the Wacom tablet. If you're interested, check it out. Amazon, like $60. Kind of cool to add to your tool belt, especially if you have to do a lot of annotating and writing. It is a tethered solution, so it's connecting to your laptop or your desktop sitting next to you. It's not one you can walk around with like a Promethean tablet or a RecordX tablet. Just heads up on that. So let's see here. I did want to share out. I've been adding to my extensions list, and I'm going to drop this link in the chat. That this is an ever-growing. I get asked a lot, Jen, what are your favorite extensions? What do I need to add? What are, add-ons, extensions, all things Google. So I just dropped this in the chat. This is the extensions link. This will, if you're interested, in checking out all of my favorite extensions, I did want to point these out. Are kind of cool. You can scroll through here. It gives you a little idea about, what it is. And if it's one you want to, check out or add. I have an extension problem. I know I need an intervention for my extension. But like, here's one, this slides timer, where I was talking to the teachers today, and it's just a really cool option if you use Google Slides and you want to have a quick timer and it's a quick solution, or you're starting an activity and you're like, oh man, I wish I had a timer really quick. You can add in this using the slides timer add-on for slides. You can add in a quick timer, a countdown timer, or a count up timer in Google Slides. I mean, just fun stuff like that. Some cool stuff that I wanted to share this out just because there's so many cool options and extensions, and they just keep adding more and more and more. This one probably right here is one of my favorites, which is the confetti cannon. And the confetti cannon, I'm going to make sure I've got it up here. And let's grab it real quick. So the confetti cannon is an option that lets you just add confetti. There it is. I'm going to pin it again so it shows up. And so we can throw a little confetti. And it's... The problem is this window is got too many... All right, confetti cannon, pin it. There it is. So I'm going to drag the confetti and move it over here. There it is. So when you hit this button, it just throws confetti on your screen. And you're like, really? That's kind of silly, but it's a great way to celebrate with your students. And just like that, for virtual celebrations with your students, you can throw confetti. So just kind of a fun way to celebrate with your students. virtually. A couple others that I wanted to point out. This page marker is probably one of my new favorite ones in terms of if I was, especially with the Wacom tablet, so I can annotate on any page. It's an extension that lets me write very easily and annotate on any page on the website. Again, tons and tons of options. My other new favorite one is this Power Thesaurus. And the Power Thesaurus is great because I do a lot of writing, and I'm like, ooh, give me some tips. I need to, as a former ELA teacher, I'm always like, mix it up, Jen, change up. Don't use the same vocabulary. You want to mix it up. So Power Thesaurus is a really cool option you might want to check out. Let's see here. Some of my other ones that were, I just added this week right here, which is the audio blogs. And this takes any website and turns it into an audio file so you can listen to it. And it'll even save it. And it's kind of cool. Like, I love Immersive Reader for the fact that it's let students select text and it will read and you can adjust it. But sometimes you want it to save it and then come back to it and be able to just hear it. There's not any settings except for speeding it up and slowing it down. But this was in my tech tip that went out this week. And it's just a super cool one. So as you can see, tons of extensions. And I wanted to share those out because, you know, can never have too many extensions that you want to explore that are going to help level up things for you with your students. Another fun one for slides there is Magic Rainbow Unicorns, which lets you make rainbow text, which just jazzes up your presentation. So all of these are included in my weekly tips that I share out to teachers. And so if you're not already a subscriber, you can subscribe to my weekly tech tips. And it gives you all the good stuff. I'm dropping the link there if you want to check it out. So here was this week's tech tip if you're interested. But I always have a weekly Chrome extension or add-on that you might be curious about checking in. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by to say hello. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, you are too kind. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But definitely check out the weekly tips if you are interested in subscribing and getting access to those so that you can, you know, a little surprise each week with hopefully some tips that you'll find beneficial. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm watching the chat. Drop them in there if you've got a question. Let me know. I'm curious, what is your favorite app or tool that you're using right now to engage learners? Let me know what you're using. I'm always curious to learn about new things. I am exploring a new tool I was playing around with. It's Frame VR, which lets you create a virtual room. I was exploring it today, and I hope it's something that I can share with my teachers. But I'm always learning from you all. What tools, what are your favorite apps or tools you're using to engage learners right now? I'd love to know. All right. So I think I've kind of run through the questions I had and some things I wanted to share out. But if you haven't already done so, please check out resources at my website at techtips411.com. And if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, I would love it. Let's see, here's it. You are a frequent flyer in my daily newsletter to our staff. I'll send you a link if you like what. I would love to. I'd love to see it. I love when people share. In fact, I got a message today that someone's like, can I share out your video with my staff? I'm like, sharing is caring. Of course, I love when stuff that I'm sharing makes it into your newsletter. That is actually the reason that I started in this work as an ed tech specialist and came out of the classroom. Was my goal was if I can help more teachers, which then will impact more students, then I'm doing my job. So if it's going beyond my district, and that's one of the reasons I love doing this show, is connecting with people outside of my district, then that is awesome. So I so very much appreciate everyone that is tuned in, that's watching live, or maybe you are watching from the future. And if you're watching from the future, I appreciate you as well. Be sure, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel so you're alerted when I drop new video tutorials or when I go live for the next time. I would appreciate that so very much. But there's so many ways we can connect. You can subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook. Some people are tuning in live on Facebook right now. I'd love for us to connect via Twitter if you're on Twitter. That would be awesome. And let's see here. These are some of these comments coming in here. Wait a second. Wow. I inspired you to start your own channel. So, wow. That just made my day. Thank you so much. Oh, drop a link to your channel in here. Let me know. Hit me up or message me. I'd love to check out your channel. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. And Stacy, thank you so much. You rock, and I appreciate you for sharing and tuning in. I so appreciate that. But this has been a lot of fun. I'm trying to do this at least once a month, so hopefully people are going to want to tune in next time. And I'll see you next month. But in the meantime, check out the tutorials and hit me up if you have any questions. Thank you all so much for watching.